We look forward to this. Of course, Rodon's press conference today. Aaron Judge yesterday. Busy time for our pal Aaron Boone. He's the manager of the Yankees. Happy holidays, of course, to him as the Yankees are introducing their big stars here for 2023. Aaron, it's always a pleasure. Great to have you with us here today. And I'll tell you, if you keep him healthy, I mean, he's got tremendous stuff. I mean, we all know strikeouts. We all know hits to innings pitch is superb. Fun guy to think about what he could do over a long period of time with the Yankees. Give me your thoughts on that first. Go ahead.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think we've seen him the last couple of years kind of realize the promise that I think everyone expected out of him. You remember when he came out of the draft from NC State, he was the guy in that draft that I think everyone felt like was the safe bet to be an ace type pitcher. And he's faced his share of adversity throughout his career, but we've really started to see the finished product here these last couple of years. And a lot of that simply has to do with being healthy enough to go to the post as much as he has. So we feel like if we can do that and help him stay healthy, and I think a lot of his maturity has been learning, mechanics and how to take care of himself and how to take care of his body and how to prepare. I think that's allowed him to be healthy. But we know that if this guy goes to the post, he gives us another ace in our rotation. It's as electric as stuff as you'll see in the game.
100%, Aaron. Now listen, let's look at it from my perspective. 138 innings for the White Sox, 178 last year. He's really only had 2 seasons where you can look at the innings pitched and think he can go to the post every 5th day, 25, 26 times. How do you monitor that? Obviously, the Yankees' second half of the year in October, it's where it's all about. That's your job. Let me hear your thoughts there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's entering a scenario where he's starting to pitch 7 months a year, right? That's the idea here. That's the goal, and that's gonna have to be something that's new for him. So we'll monitor him like we do all our guys, and try to pay attention and try to probably pick our spots where, hey, this may be an outing where we got to be a little bit careful, a little smarter. You try and pick those days where, depending, and you're always factoring everyone into the rotation. When you have an off day, how do you slot guys in? Who needs an extra day? Perhaps this go around. But we'll be proactive with paying attention from the measurables to the communication level with him about how he's feeling and how he's doing. And hopefully he's getting now to a point in his career where he's ready to handle a workload that's, akin to an ace. And we feel like he understands his body now really well. And hopefully he's getting to that level. I think one of the encouraging things about him is this is a guy at 30 years old that only has about 800 innings on his arm. So it's not a guy with a lot of wear and tear from that standpoint. And hopefully now he's breaking through and going to that next level of where you really start to rely on him from a volume standpoint as well.
Excellent point. All right, Judge, I read the quotes from you at the winter meetings about how Tuesday you were pretty nervous, but your owner came through. We made sure you gave him the captainship. He seems like he's focused. I know you text him and you're close to him. That was a big break there, that Tuesday and Wednesday in San Diego, that you knew he was coming back. Talk about that for a sec. Let me hear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people have asked me, did you really not think he was coming back? And I guess it was more just the uncertainty of it all. And I was that day before certainly a little fearful. And obviously the tweet comes out and you're trying to read the tea leaves and you're like, what is going on here? And then your mind starts to go to a little bit of a dark place. And, we play the Giants opening day at Yankee Stadium this year, and imagining him on the third base line for introductions was not a good place I was in. But really excited to have him back, and just, I think the next in line of one of the iconic Yankee players and certainly the leader of our team. And I wouldn't want anyone else, being the leader in the face of our team.
100%. Judge is huge there. Good job on that. All right. The offense in the postseason against Houston and to a certain degree against the Guardians. You know, a lot of strikeouts. You know, you didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark too much. You worked hard to get through Cleveland, and then, of course, Houston's pitching. You know, you got to wonder about Torres. You got to wonder about the third baseman. No Benintendi. How are we going to get this offense? What's your thought process? I know LeMahieu may be healthier, so that's a plus. Give me some thoughts on the Yankee offense and as far as what we saw in the postseason. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really encouraged by DJ. DJ's doing really well, so encouraged there. You know, I think, you know, going into the postseason, especially against the Astros. So, you know, as good as obviously the Astros and their teams have been over the last several years, this is the best pitching they've had top to bottom. You know, this is, you know, a team that eventually went and shut down Philly in a similar way. So we've got to find a way and do a better job, you know, having guys like Benintendi and DJ not in the lineup for us and still not having Carpenter all the way back, you know, I think hurt us. But the bottom line is we got shut down against the Astros and a great pitching staff. And, you know, we got to find ways to be better in those spots. You know, we still have you know, we're probably not a completed product yet heading into spring training. I know there's some more things to potentially do. We'll see if there's any trade mades or any more signings that, you know, kind of alter our roster a little bit. But and as far as Donaldson goes, I really feel like he's going to bounce back. You know, maybe not to the MVP levels that we've seen throughout his career, but I think, you know, coming out of the lockout situation, I just think he just never really got things rolling like he was capable of. But that doesn't take away from, you know, what was a Gold Glove caliber defender for us at third base. And I do, even at his age, I think there's going to be a bounce back offensively. He's having a really good winter, and you know, we'll see what happens though with the rest of the roster, the rest of the winter. But you know, we got to find a way we want to be that last team standing. And this year, you know, we got shut down in that final series.
Listen, you know how New York goes, Aaron. You're savvy enough. You're in the media. You're as one of the best guys in the sport as far as dealing with these questions. But for a lot of teams, it's what you do in October, and then the manager's moves get analyzed up and down. He should have done this. Michael King's in the game here. How come? Where's the starter? Garrett Cole gets taken out of the game in this inning. Why in the world are we doing that? I'm sure you've thought about all of this. Give me your thoughts on things that maybe from a sense of urgency standpoint that the manager's got to worry about managing the Yankees in the month of October. Go ahead. I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that sense of urgency. You know, I think for any team playing in October, and certainly, you know, for us, you know, we've been a team that's, you know, had our share of success, but ultimately we haven't punched through, and we haven't won that world championship, which we're desperately seeking, and feel like each year, you know, we've gone in with a realistic expectation that we have a chance to be that. You know, along the way, if you're not that last team standing, in the end, you lose a game. You know, every move's going to get dissected. That goes with the job. That goes with the territory. You understand that. You know, I know I'm very prepared and feel very confident in what I'm doing and what our coaching staff does. And, you know, we're going to continue to just try and get better and put our guys in the best position to be successful and hopefully be that last team stand. That's what we're working to do. But from my standpoint, you know, I'm confident in what I'm doing and having my hand on the heartbeat of this club. And, you know, but it's about all of us getting to the next level, and that silences everything.
There you go, Aaron. Appreciate a few minutes. I know you got a great family there, so happy holidays. Keep up the good work. We'll get you once or twice in spring training. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks very much today.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Take care, man.